Hello and welcome to John's Author Diary for the week ending September the 12th, 2021. I've had a busy week. I've been working on A Murder of Crows. I'm at the midpoint of the first act, so about 13,000 words in, so I'm happy with the progress of that. I'm still getting back into the groove after the summer break, but I'm working on a corkboard for my outline and I have completed the first row across. So I've removed a line of index cards. And I have to say, that is quite satisfying to see a nice gap at the top that represents the progress. So in terms of reading, I finally brought myself to read Shepherd's Crown by Terry Pratchett. It's the last of his Discworld books that he wrote before he died. It was a very good story. It's not as strong as some of the other Tiffany Aching books, but still enjoyable nonetheless. I've been putting off finishing that series for a few years now, mainly because it was just too sad knowing that that was it. That was the last one. So my hope is that his estate will leave his work now, leave it be, because I hate the idea that you see with some other authors where someone takes over the series or you end up releasing unfinished manuscripts and things like that. Anything to kind of claw that extra cash. Now, just leave it as it is. It's perfect. So, yeah, don't do that, please. So, for me, Pratchett was, was a singular voice in fantasy, in literature in general, to be honest. I think his early Discworld books probably easy to dismiss because they're basically parody of other fantasy stuff. But I think from about the fifth, sixth book, something like that, I think probably from Mort or something like that, they started to become more satirical than parody, and you had a kind of sense of moral outrage against small-mindedness that ran throughout that I felt was really strong and really tied the world together, really tied his writing together thematically. So I don't know what to say. I mean, I love Discworld books, love that series. Probably reread them all. I mean, there's 41 of them, but they're just one of those books you pick up and you know you're in for a good story, except maybe Eric, which I didn't like. But apart from that, really good series. So I'd highly recommend. If you've never read them and you like fantasy, then get on those books because you will not be disappointed. I read a writing craft book by S.A. Soleil called The Writer's Guide to Character Expression. Definitely recommend this book to any aspiring writers. So this is all about writing in deep point of view, all about showing, not telling, all that good stuff. So for me, there's not a lot in there that I didn't know already, but it's still useful to get those reminders. And the author has a lot of really cool examples, so I would recommend that. I'm also a third of the way through a book called Slave Species of the Gods. I think Amazon are basically recommending every book to me that mentions the Anunnaki or ancient aliens or anything like that. I mean, it is basically the usual ancient alien stuff. It kind of assumes that Zechariah Sitchin's translations of the Sumerian tablets were accurate and that they weren't just mythic tales, but historical records of when aliens created humans as a slave race to mine gold. It's far fetched, and you know, I'll take it with a grain of salt, but it's entertaining and it's great story fuel. So you can't beat that. Next week, I'm going to carry on with the Murder of Crows. I want to get to the next line, the end of the next line on my corkboard, finish that. So that'll take me to the end of the first act. Remember to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you've got a comment or a question, please leave it in the comments below. So until next time, cheerio.